Crews from Amarillo and Pampa continue to battle a fire in an industrial plant in Pampa.
No injuries have been reported. Thanks for joining us this afternoon. They're still trying to contain that fire at this moment. It happened at the W&W fiberglass on the southwest side of town. KAMR Local 4's Kelly James is there. He joins us now live with that breaking news today at 5. So Kelly, what can you tell us about this fire so far?
Well, Jackie, it's kind of hard to tell right now with the sun behind us so much, but as you can see, the devastation that was left behind by this fire. It erupted about noon today at the WW Fiberglass Tank Company. Now, that's in an industrial area on the west side of Pampa on Price Street between Alcock and Highway 60. In fact, the entire street between those areas on Price has been shut down, and it was quite a scene earlier today as you could see plumes of smoke coming from the fire from miles away. In fact, witnesses telling us that they could see it from their homes at least 2 miles away from the scene. Now, right now, they do not have an exact cause of what happened in this fire, but the city's public information officer, Donnie Hooper, tells us that those problems were exacerbated by a resin that they use.
It's really difficult, you know, on the containment because at one point in time the containment had, I would say, had gotten at least 50% or so, but then another resin tank caught on fire. So with the chemicals in there and not knowing the full inventory in there, it'd be difficult to say the containment at this time. But I'd say they're making a lot of headway late this afternoon on it.
Now, this, again, is a fiberglass company. It's not the fiberglass so much that is the toxic chemical here so much as the resin that Mr. Hoover says that is kind of causing some problems at getting the full containment on this fire as of right now. And what they do here at WW Fiberglass Tank Company, they basically, and again, you can't really see it behind us because of the sun, but they make fiberglass tanks. You could use those for watering cattle and things like that. So that's what kind of a business this is. Again, it's on the southwest side of Pampa on Price Road, which they are really no strangers to some devastation around here. It was back in 1995. Tornado came right up this way, just behind this area. So people who live in Pampa who have been here for quite a while, they know this area quite well. So right now, no evacuations and no injuries at this point, and as of right now, they do not have the cause. Reporting live from Pampa, Kelly James, KAMR Local 4 News.
Kelly, thank you. And one interesting thing that Kelly said there, again, Price Road shut down at this moment because of that fire. As officials continue to mop it up, you are asked to avoid that area at this time.
A woman is dead and a man is in the hospital after their car runs into a tree. Happened early this morning on the 8100 block of Southwest 34th Avenue. Amarillo police say 20-year-old Shelby Clark was a passenger in the car. They say she died at the scene from injuries from that wreck. The driver was taken to the hospital with life-threatening injuries. Police say alcohol and speed were factors in that accident.
On Human Trafficking Awareness Day, a group of senators pushing a bill to stop online sex trafficking. Hear from the senators and the survivors working with them coming up in just a moment. But first, let's check in on our forecast. Chief Meteorologist John Harris joining us now in studio. John, I'm glad you're inside today. It was too windy this morning.
Very windy and very cold. Now, the good news is, Jackie, the wind speeds are coming down very quickly, and once the sun sets, the winds will basically become light and variable. But again, kind of blustery right now. Let's show you what we have going on. The cold front that came through last night that created the wind is creating showers and thunderstorms along the state line into Louisiana. Then we have a little band of snow moving into the west side of Fort Worth right now. So again, kind of a crazy weather day. Winds are still brisk out of the north, upwards of 20 miles per hour. It's cool. We've been in the 40s all day long, 42 degrees in downtown, 42 out at the airport. Day planner forecast: once the sun sets, the winds become light. 7 p.m. we're 35, 10 p.m. cold, 29. In the morning we'll wake up to a low of 20. Tomorrow it will be nice, but then it turns colder this weekend. Any hopes for rain or snow? More in a moment. Listen, back over to Jackie.
John, thank you.
You bet.
California crews are looking for people who are missing after major mudslides in the southern part of that state. At least 17 deaths have been confirmed. Others remain missing. Mud, debris, and boulders covered the 101 freeway, which runs through Ventura, Santa Barbara, and Montecito. The California Highway Patrol says parts of the 101 will remain shut down throughout this weekend.
Protests are taking place in several cities across Pakistan following the brutal murder and rape of a 7-year-old girl. She's the 12th young girl to be killed in the same area within a few months. Many in the local community say authorities haven't done enough to keep their children safe. At least 2 people have died Wednesday as protesters clashed with police. Today is National Human Trafficking Awareness Day. On Capitol Hill, Ohio Senator Rob Portman joined survivors and activists to urge Congress to pass his Stop Enabling Sex Traffickers Act, or SESTA. Portman wants to change a federal law that protects websites from being liable for their users' content. SESTA would make websites responsible if they, quote, knowingly facilitate sex trafficking.
It is an outrage that we have this horrific crime going on.
The internet nowadays makes it so easy.
Ambrose is fighting for SESTA in honor of her daughter, who was raped and killed after being trafficked online. Senator Portman says he hopes the Senate will vote on the bill in the next couple of weeks. He expects it to happen after Congress deals with the looming government shutdown. That deadline is January 19th. Today, Congress passed a bill to reauthorize FISA 702 for 6 more years. It's the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Act that was approved as a result of 9/11, designed to help prevent terrorism.
But a vote almost didn't happen after President Donald Trump fired out a series of tweets this morning, confusing members of Congress on where exactly the White House stands on that issue. KAMR Local 4's Anna Warnicki is in Washington with more. We are your local election headquarters.
The bill is passed.
The bill had support from lawmakers in both parties, but as the House was about to begin debate on the bill, the president attacked FISA on Twitter. Then the president backtracked, tweeting his support. Quote, "It's about foreign surveillance of foreign bad guys on foreign land. We need it."
I do this reluctantly.
The mixed messages from the White House had some lawmakers who supported the bill, like California Democrat Adam Schiff, questioning if Congress should delay the vote.
I think we need to get a clear statement from the administration of whether they're in support of this legislation or they're not.
Well, I'm not unappreciative of my colleague from California's comments. I do think we're at a place where we do need to move forward.
Texas Congressman Mike Conaway says the program is too important in the fight against terrorism to wait any longer. Other lawmakers argued the bill needed more protections for Americans.
I despise terrorists. We ought to go after them and get them.
Texas Republican Ted Poe said the law is unconstitutional.
702 was written to go after terrorists, but it is being used to go after Americans.
And Republican Justin Amash unsuccessfully pressed an amendment to prohibit using the law against American citizens.
These are 2 very different options.
But Texas Democrat Henry Cuellar said while the bill wasn't perfect, it was good enough.
There are enough protections there to go after the bad apples and not go after people that have nothing to do with terrorism or some sort of crime.
The bill now heads to the Senate for a vote. In Washington, Anna Warnicki, KAMR Local 4 News.
For more political news on the state, local, and national level, head over to our website, myhighplains.com. Tax cuts are already starting to help some folks this year.
One company is already putting those extra dollars to work. We'll explain.
There's a lot of reasons that people will give. Of course, the life-saving aspect, but a lot of times it's because somebody they know personally needed a blood transfusion themselves, and so they know how important it is to get involved. In fact, Meredith Avery talks with some of these people.
The show itself was a comedy, and I just saw too many errors in it from the military point of view, so I never really could enjoy it.
This Marine might be a tough critic when it comes to TV shows, but there's one thing Daryl Krug thinks everyone can agree on.
It's an anonymous gift, and so that makes me feel good just to give it. And I'm sure receiving it that they feel the same way. I'm anonymous to them.
You see, Krug lost his dad 10 years ago.
My father died of cancer.
He knows how important these donations can be.
You know, they need them, and I'm glad to be able to do that.
Rhonda Lindsay has been donating since she was 18, but we won't tell you how many years she's been giving. She says she felt like it was her duty to give.
It's something that has to be done. There's nowhere else to get it. It's a responsibility as a member of society, as a Christian. It is important.
Will Hodge has got a high red blood count. His doctor suggested he make a donation.
I think it works out well. You know, if I can help myself and someone else, why not?
It's something he says he'd hope others would do for him.
I say get up off your living room couch, come out, donate blood, help somebody else save a life. Why not?
In Amarillo, Meredith Avery, KAMR Local 4 News.
You can head over to the blood center on Wallace. You can donate there on Saturday from 8 in the morning to 4 in the afternoon, and then again on Sunday from noon until 5. For more information on the blood drive, please go over to myhighplains.com. We've got all the details there for you. We'll be right back after this short break with some more news, weather, and sports. But first, let's check back in with John.
Again, we're out here at the 36th annual MASH blood drive at the Coffee Memorial Blood Center. Kelly, James, and I are having a fantastic time out here. Come on out. We have a few seats that are empty. We need your help. All right, let's send it back over to Megan.
John, thank you very much. We appreciate your time today. All right, you do not have to go to California or Florida to visit the happiest place on earth. It's coming right here to you. We are giving away a family 4-pack to Disney Live over at the Amarillo Civic Center. To enter, just comment on our Facebook page telling us why you love Disney. We're going to announce the winner tonight on KAMR Local 4's News at 10. There's a big high school matchup tonight at Randall, right?
Yeah, the Raiders and the Sandies, they're going to face off. On the boys' side, these are two of the best teams I've seen in this district.
Arrests are made in a home invasion robbery that happened the day after Christmas. We'll show you how police say they connected the two men tied to that crime.
I'm Anna Warnicki in Washington, D.C. Republicans are calling this year a success, but Democrats say it was a disaster. Coming up, I'll take a look at the mixed reviews coming out of Washington.
Disabilities no longer have to be a factor when it comes to having fun. Just like the band Queen, they want to hop on. When we come back, we're going to show you how a local company is providing these new wheels for kids in our area. Have plans for the new year? Things are literally looking up.
For Rhonda Lindsay, she considers it her duty.
It's something that has to be done. There's nowhere else to get it. It's a responsibility as a member of society, as a Christian. It is important.
We'll show you how you can help as well.
Hasn't been out for more than 2 weeks now, and the force is clearly strong with this one. We're talking about the latest episode in the Star Wars genre, The Last Jedi. We'll take a look at just how much this new edition has earned for the franchise, and if it's set to be the highest grossing film of the year. There's a chance. That's next in the Hollywood Minute.
You did last year struggling with money. Lady Luck may be knocking at your door tonight.
But not if you're in Oklahoma. A look at how much, I'm sorry. It's Netflix, Hulu, many of us, we binged at some point in our lifetimes during the holidays. I did, for sure.
What'd you watch?
Video games.
24 Hours in the Canyon Cancer Survivorship Center are still reaping in the benefits from No Shave November.
Well, that story in just a moment, but first, here's what's happening in D.C.
States can now require people to work in order to qualify for Medicaid. Republicans say it will lift people out of poverty. Democrats say it puts people's health at risk. I'm Alexandra Limon in Washington with all the details.